Hey there, Board Game Brody here with Let's Table It, where we get games to the table. Like this one, Mezen. This is an abstract strategy game where you take the role of northern craftsmen creating intricate ornamental paintings. But let's get right into this one. Each player will have identical double-sided tiles to form a 5x5 grid. Each player sets up their grid randomly, placing down their tiles on the light side up. 10 goal cards are then placed out with a method of randomly choosing them during setup. But eventually you will have 10 different goals that you can try to complete during the game. And at the beginning of the game, the first 2 are flipped over. And now you will focus on one goal for each round, but you will know the goal for the next round prior so that you can prepare for it during your current round. Each player also receives 5 amulets, which I will explain here soon. The game is played over 10 rounds, and the active player starts by announcing one of 5 symbols: the bird, the horse, the fox, the hedgehog, or the fish. Players will make groups of their announced or chosen icon, and they can choose to remove one of these groups from their grid. A group is a chain of any number of tiles with identical symbols connected to each other vertically or horizontally, but not diagonally. One tile can count as a group as well. As the game progresses, some tiles will show a spruce tree on the dark side of that tile. These automatically count for your group to be connected with, but you can never announce spruce as your chosen symbol. So each player is choosing a group of tiles from the announced type. Players can also choose to place an amulet on any tile in order to bridge between groups of tiles, making a combined larger group, or likewise exclude a tile from a group to make it smaller. And you can do this any number of times on tiles as long as you have enough amulets to do so. Another option is that a player can give one amulet to the active player to choose their own symbol to make a group with instead of the announced type. Each player then removes the tiles of the group that they have chosen, leaving behind any tiles with amulets placed on them. Flip them to the other side and place them to the side. Amulets are removed, if any, placed and returned back to the pool. All tiles are then moved down, filling in any empty gaps. The tiles that were removed are flipped over and then placed into the newly empty spots in any order to make that 5x5 grid again. You will want to arrange the tiles in a way to help you with your goal, but also your next round goal as well. After all players are done placing their tiles, points are scored for the shown goal card for that round. Now, you can, instead of taking your earned points, you can refuse those points and instead take 2 amulet tokens instead. After, you will flip over the just scored goal card and unlock the next goal card by flipping it over. And you should always have 2 goals flipped face up at a time. And the active player then passes the miniature to the new player to their left to be the new active player. At the end of the 5th round, each player scores 1 additional point for each tile that is on the dark side on their 5x5 grid. And at the end of the game, after the 10th round, each player will then gain 1 point for each of the light side tiles facing up. 1 point for every remaining amulet, and 1 point for every tile in any chosen group, including spruce tiles. The player then with the most points wins the game. It's a game of choosing tiles to move to, rearrange other tiles to complete the goals while also trying to flip as many tiles to the dark side during the first half of the game, and then back to the white side or the light side during the second half of the game. Let's take, a look at some of these goal cards so that you know how you can rearrange your tiles to score points. So there are these cards that give you the shown points on top. In this case, 3 points for each symbol you have in the shown positions. These cards award 2 points for the shown symbol in any of these positions. And then this one is 2 points with this symbol in one of the middle 9 positions. These types of cards are 2 points for each symbol surrounded with tiles that are not the same type. These cards award 2 points for every pair of neighboring tiles with the indicated symbols, with each tile only being able to be part of one pair. These 3 cards score 3 points for each tile of any type in any of the shown positions. This one is 3 points for every column or row that contains no less than 4 tiles with the dark side up. This one is 2 points for each tile with the dark side up in one of these positions. This one is 3 points for every spruce tile in one of these positions. This one is 1 point for every light tile that is neighboring with at least one spruce tile. This one is 4 points for every spruce tile in the biggest group consisting of solely spruce tiles. This one is 1 point for every pair of neighboring tiles with opposite sides. Here, each player chooses any of the 5 symbols except the spruce and gain 3 points for every tile with that symbol if it is neighboring with at least one spruce tile. Lastly, here each player chooses a symbol. You will find the biggest group of the tiles with that symbol, including spruce trees, and then gain 2 points for each tile in that group. And well, that's Mezen, an abstract strategy game that requires planning ahead of time and making choices that will score you points by pulling tiles off, moving others down, and then placing those ones that you pulled off on top, but flipping them to the other side. It's a puzzle game, so you'll have to turn your brain on and use your spatial intelligence and awareness to fit pieces where they can score the most points. It's a simple light game with a challenge within the goal cards and performing the puzzle. Again, the puzzle will keep your brain busy because you know the current goal and the next one, and they will change as you progress through the game, through the 10 rounds in the game. The look of the game is great. I don't know why, but this reminds me of like a Christmas type design, so we will probably playing it more during the holidays as we did this past year. If you like abstract strategy games and the look of this game, then this might be something that you want to check out. Again, it's Brody with Let's Table It, where we get games to the table, like Mezen by Arcane Wonders. Please like and subscribe to our channel. We are working hard to bring to you videos like this one so you know if these games here are ones that you want to get to your own table.